In this video, let us tackle one more question that focuses on the DevOps interview preparation. The question is, the developer from your team is complaining of a connection drop to DB, that is a database. Explain how you will investigate this and provide a solution, if any. Kindly observe this question very carefully. Here, they are not expecting you to provide a solution directly. And they have also mentioned provide a solution, if any. That is based on your investigation. So what is important here? They want to understand how you will investigate this particular issue. Hence, you should take this question very seriously and try to explain the step-by-step process of how you will investigate. Now, why did I say you have to take this question seriously? Because this question explains or gives a context to the interviewer that have you seen such kind of things in the real world and have you investigated, which is what they want to know. Now, you might not have come across this issue, which can be very obvious, but an investigation doesn't require that you need to know this issue, right? If you are driving a particular car, if it breaks down, that if it stops, we will investigate. Will you know exactly what happened? No. There could be a puncture, there could be a shortage of fuel, many things. But this idea that how to investigate it is really important. I believe I have given you the context. So let us try to first understand how to basically investigate this issue. Okay. So what is a DB connection and how does it work? We have to understand this first to go any further, right? So what we have at this point of time is basically an application, which can be a mobile or a web UI, anything. It contacts a database, and this database is on AWS. So it makes a connection. This connection is also known as thread sometimes, okay? It makes a connection. Now, why does it make a connection? To get some data back. To get some data back. Perfect. So this application always is in contact with the database so that it keeps on getting this information. It can be certain user related information or transactional related information, etc. Now the issue here that the developer is facing is they are having this connection issue. This is also known as connection drop. Okay. Now what happens if there is a connection drop? What happens if the application cannot just communicate with the database? Of course, a lot of users will face some issue. Now, during any kind of explanation, we usually see this one line written, right? There is one connection made. But in the real world, it is not just one connection. We have many connections that have been made. In reality, we have many connections that have been made. So we will have connection 1, connection 2, connection 3. So the application itself will make multiple connections to the database. Now, why does it do multiple connection to the database? This is a part of multi-threading process. Because of which it does multiple connection. Now, when it does multiple connection, the database also has to accept this multiple connection. So this is not like an infinite number of connections. It is not like, oh, you keep on connecting to me, I will keep on responding to you. No, that is not how it works. So based on this information, we will have to now investigate. Obviously, this could be happening because the application is making a lot of connections, but it is not closing a connection. So if connection 1 is made and the communication or the information has been sent back, it has to be properly closed. This work of closing is not related to you. It is related to the application. So the developers have to close the connection properly in their application code. Okay. If this communication is not properly closed, obviously the connection will be made. It is idle. there is nothing happening. So it will keep on creating new connections, but the old connection still exists, which will create this particular scenario. So how do we debug this? First step, we connect to the database. That is, you go to AWS console and open it. In the AWS console, you can see a monitoring page that explains connection. So number of connection graph, it explains basically. You can check that and you can see if there is a constant increase in the connection. If there is a constant increase in the connection, either the application is having a lot of traffic, which you can ask the developer to confirm, or what is happening is the previous application connection are not closed. So what is the solution? Either you ask the developers team to check the close connection logic they are using. This is one option. Or you can increase the connection with the parameter max connection in RDS settings. In the RDS setting, we have an option called as max connection. You can increase that. So let us say that the developers come back to us and say, no, we are closing the connection properly, but we are getting a lot of traffic. Now it is a good news. If you are getting a lot of traffic, it is good for us. So in this case, we can actually increase the max connection. I hope this explanation is clear. Now, how do we present this particular answer in the interview? Very easy. The way we can present this particular answer in the interview is to debug this issue. The first step that I will do is to go to the AWS console, then go to the respective RDS. Once I went to the respective RDS, I would open the monitoring section and check the connections tab or the connection monitoring window. In this window, I'm going to see if we have a constant increase in the connection or if there is any irregularities in the graph. Based on this, I would actually speak with the developers team if they are closing the connections properly, and I'll confirm this, because if they are not closing the connections properly, then they have to fix it in their application end. Once they come back to me and confirm that closing the connection part looks good, and genuinely we need more connections to be accepted by the database, then I would actually go to the RDS database configurations or settings and try to increase the property called as max_connections and allow more connections to happen. This is how I would investigate, and I would also give the solution accordingly. These are the two solutions I would offer. This is how you can present this particular answer in the interview. That is it for this video. I hope you understood the concept also. To speak to you in the next video. Thank you.